Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do this individual tarot reading for Monster X former member and soloist WONHO. So he had been requested a while ago also because I think I read for him, but when I did that reading, I read him and his relationship with Monster X members. So I still haven't done a proper individual reading for him, for his personality and his personal circumstances. So today is his turn. So thank you so much to the person that requested this. Thank you so much also to the mom bebes that actually are very nice. I truly appreciate all the fandoms that, even though I'm very ignorant about their favorite groups' history and sometimes I'm still struggling with the names and everything, they still put the effort and give me a very generous feedback so I can get to know them better. And I do appreciate this because, I think that the fact that I had been able to grow so much in my channel in such a short period of time, and that the qualities of my readings is not actually very fancy, but I think that I came to learn so much and evolve as a tarot reader because of you teaching me or actually giving me feedbacks about the readings, and I'm very grateful for this. So thank you so much, and I always read you. So and I'm starting to learn your usernames as well, so I know who is who. I have a good memory with names once I learn them. So let's begin with Wano's reading. His energy is that he's a Pisces with a moon in Gemini, which these are two very flexible signs when it comes to energy, in the sense that he can be a very changeable person in the sense that he can transform his energy and be whoever you want him to be. So he is a box full of surprises, and probably because he is so flexible, there's something about his nature that it seems like unattainable, like you cannot figure him out, like there's no, I think he has also, he doesn't have a lot of earth placements, so it seems like he is very ethereal, like very and I wouldn't say angelic, but there's something very magical about him, even though people praise him for his body shape and everything. He's so much more than that. And I think that what he is really good at is captivating his audience with his emotions. Probably he's a very emotional guy, but him having a moon in Gemini, that he can go from being really emotional to being really intellectual. So it's like you never know what you're going to get with him. And I think that this is where his appeal resides. But when we think about this being a personal attribute of a person, of an individual, and not a performer or an artist, sometimes people that have these sort of energies, they tend to be really confusing, because it seems like they go through mood changes and their energy shifts so many times, probably during a day or a week. So probably for people around him, it's really hard to actually understand what's going on with him, probably to understand what's going on with himself, probably he says one thing, then does another, and he just changes, he's always like very like swimming through opportunities, and it's really hard to to grab his energy or grab his own person and being like, okay, like where are you, like are you here with us, like are you present, like what's going on with you, like I don't know, it seems like his energy, every time I try to connect with him, it just slips off my fingers. It seems like I cannot, I wouldn't say grab him because I do not know how to say it in English. But I want to get close to his energy and I want to grab it. I want to be able to connect with it and hold it still so I can connect with it, and I cannot do it. It seems like it's slipping off my fingers. I cannot grab his energy. He's like always moving, like a little fish, like the Pisces fish, something like that. And it's confusing, actually. So if this tarot reading doesn't make any sense, I apologize, but this is what I'm getting from him. So let's start with the archetypes cards that he got. He got the card of the Queen, the Athlete, and the Beggar. So definitely starting off with the Queen, it's really like a beautiful card, because I think that he definitely feels proud of himself. Like he definitely worships himself. And if we compare the Queen with the Athlete, we know, like I mentioned before, that he is someone that is being praised by the industry because of how well built or how built his body is in comparison to the other skinny types of idols, that probably he does set like a sort of like a record or a precedent. I know that there are other idols that also are very well built physically, that they are very strong males, but in his case he seems different. Like everything about him is much more than him being a muscular guy, and him having muscles. It's about him actually being this very like extraordinary person, like, because it's, I don't know how to explain this, but I think that you can see a lot of guys with muscles or an idol with muscles, but there's something about them that just, it seems like it's all about the work, and sometimes when they get that muscular or when they get that build, sometimes they do have this sort of like diet, or it seems like their body has muscles but they are still really thin or really fit. So it's like, yes, you have muscles but you are still very skinny, like it doesn't match. I cannot say that it's well built, because it's like the foundation of your body is like the torso, the part of the torso. So if you're really skinny in there, but you have huge arms, it's like I cannot make my mind. It's like I cannot think if you are that well built. In the case of WONHO, I think that his whole body is very well built. He's like a very. It seems like his physique is very like strong. So this is what he makes the difference, between all these idols that are really skinny but do work out. He is the one that really has this very muscular body, and I think that and he has some pride about this, because we have the Queen and the Athlete. So he definitely does it because he likes to stand out, and also because he likes to look at himself in the mirror. The Queen archetype is someone that they love to look good, they love to get praises as well, so they don't mind to be the center of attention. So even though probably he does it because the athlete the athlete archetype also talks about you being competitive and you being in a competition, because actually being part of a K-pop industry is about you being competitive, because actually, yes, you can have a lot of love from your fans, but at the end of the day, you have to be remarkable, and you have to give the audience an unforgettable presence, so they remember you by something, like, not only because, oh yes, the song that you sang was really inspirational, it's all about image as well. So I think that he is very proud of his image, and I think he really you can tell that he really puts a lot of effort in this, a lot of effort, and that he loves to look good. That I think that he's not ashamed, because that this is also one of the things that probably his energy is very different from others, is that there's this sort of idols that probably they know that they have a good body, but somehow they act like they are ashamed of it, or that they are like, oh no, I don't want to show my abs, oh no, like very like awkward. And actually this is the difference between you doing it because it's your job to stay fit, or you're doing it because you really love how it feels. And I think that in the case of WONHO, what I can see here is that definitely I think he started with a small, I don't know if he had always been like this, but I think he started with a small, like, he started like step by step, gaining weight, like gaining like the muscular, the muscles, he started like progressing, slowly progressing. And then he is like at this place where I don't think he's going to stop. I think he is going to keep working on his body. Because for him is like his signature, it's something that actually defines his image. So I see him like being really like disciplined when it comes to this. But also we have here the card of the beggar. So definitely, yes, he does it for attention. And I think that there's something about him getting the attention and actually feeling empty inside. There's the beggar archetype is when you want everyone to pay attention to you, but somehow you feel like it's never enough. So I think that definitely there's here like this neediness, that, and it's weird because I think that he actually doesn't know what he wants. There's a bit of confusion here, because I think he does get the praises, he does get the attention, but somehow it's not enough. Somehow he wants more, and it seems like he's always like begging for people's attention. This is why the beggar card is here, because it seems like his self-esteem or his self-image is tied to what other people think of him. And sometimes that can be really depressing, because even though he does get the love and the attention, he also gets a lot of criticism. And somehow, that sometimes negative comments can like have a stronger effect on a person's mental state more than a positive one. And I don't know why, but it works that way. This is why sometimes haters know how to push their idols' buttons, because they know that, and I'm not saying they're idols, because yes, actually I could say they're idols, because I think that those people that do this very mean spirit and these very negative comments on Be Lives, for example, they do it with the purpose of getting their idol's attention. It's like if you probably are in a chat among a lot of people, you know that if you send like the word I love you, and thousands of hearts, probably it will get like mix and get lost in the crowd of all the hearts and all the loving messages that are appearing. But probably for someone that is a bit like mean, or someone that has the intention to cause a certain impression on the idol, for the idol to read the comment, or at least to get the idol's attention, because I think that they are very highly aware that this idol will read it, so even though probably they will not read it out loud all the time, some do but some don't, they pay attention to their body language or the way they stare at the screen. So they know that when they are like looking at the screen, reading the comments, and it's the exact moment that you read a negative comment, that person probably is like, oh, if he or she frowned, or if she froze, is because they read my comment. So I succeeded, so it's very twisted, it's very sickening. Yes, it is, but this is how the haters work. They just don't care what kind of impact they cause. They just want to make an impact, so and unfortunately these are among the fans. This is are among the fans, and they call themselves fans. So this is why sometimes you wonder how come these negative comments appear, but they appear because they are there. They camouflage. It's like a wolf dressing as a sheep. It's like they definitely disguise themselves as being part of the fandom, and then they eventually show their true colors. This is what happens. So I think that he definitely gets a bit he does acknowledge this, that sometimes he feels a bit like nothing is enough, like he feels a certain insatisfaction, and he also feels like he's a slave to other people's opinions. It's like he doesn't like to lose that control or that power over himself, but he does need of other he does need the love of others. So I think that this is the reason why he is an entertainer, because you need the audience feedback. But I think that sometimes some people's comments just mark him or affect him too deep, that where he starts to doubt himself, starts to doubt why he did what he did, why he is in this business. Sometimes he's so, it's really, if you can see here the archetypes, you can see that we are starting with the archetype of a queen, and we are finishing with the archetype of a beggar. So he definitely goes from an upside down, ups and downs of, feeling really good about himself, feeling like really like he is worshiping himself and his work. And then he goes back to feeling bad about himself, or feeling that he is not enough. So he gets on this beggar archetype. So it's like swing moods, or I'm sorry, mood swings. That he comes and goes. So this is why I think that I cannot say or express it in a very determined way, being like, oh, I think that I sense this about him, because actually his energy is changing all the time. So let's go with the tarot cards that he got. He got the Queen of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Seven of Cups in reversed, the Nine of Pentacles, um, the Emperor, the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Page of Pentacles. So yes, starting off with the Queen of Wands and the Five of Wands, definitely he is like putting his passion and his very strong will to actually shine. He wants to, probably he's a bit tired of being, I don't know if he had been active that long, or if he's participating on a kind of comeback. But it seems like he had been waiting for a while to actually get this opportunity. So he's like putting his whole passion into this. He's like, okay, I need to give my best. I need to keep the energy up. I need to. And I think that there are a lot of people that are actually advising him to, to save his energies, to not go too strong, to not be so like impulsive. I think that he wants to do a lot of things, and he's not been able to administrate his energy, because he's feeling really excited about this new opportunity or this new beginning. This is why I think that probably he was in a sort of like in a period where he had to wait, to actually work. So he's like, he has this sort of this thirst, this hunger for being on stage, or for performing. Probably he's feeling this sort of like very passionate and uncontrolled desire to show up, to be seen, to be performing. So it's like he's really happy about this, but I think that he sometimes he just like is not very good at administrating his resources. And I think that I said this when I read for him in Monza X. There's something about WONHO's energy that somehow it seems like he has everything available for him, but sometimes his head is in the clouds, in a sense that probably his ambitions are not very well like founded. They are not well perceived, in a sense that I think that sometimes his wishes or what he wants to accomplish are not very realistic. So definitely he needs someone, and I think he has someone. He has a female that I probably is as like some kind of advisor for him. That she is the one that is like, okay, maybe we should do this. Maybe you should go and do this, because I think that he is not able to control all the flow of ideas that he gets. Probably he's someone that he's very artistic, but sometimes his ideas get all tangled in, and it seems like confusing. So I think that this female is a sort of like a translator of his desires. She's like, okay, like, calm down, I need to write this down, I need to make a plan of this. She's sort of a planner. She's sort of like the one that organizes things, and I think that he feels safe having this person next to him, and I can sense that it's a female energy, because I think that he needs someone that is a bit more materialistic, so to say, like someone more realistic or more knowledgeable about business, because somehow he's someone that if you don't administrate him, he can like spend all the resources in one night, for example. So he needs some regulator, something like that. And then we have the Emperor, the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. So yes, he's definitely like turning himself into a workaholic. I see him like he's really what he wants to show everyone is that he still has this desire to make it. I think that probably he was not satisfied with his previous releases, or probably he noticed that he was being a bit like passive about it, or probably that he was a bit lazy in his perception, that he was a bit lazy, or probably that he trusted people that actually caused him to have to wait a lot. There's something about him getting impatient with waiting. So now that the wait is finally over, he's like, okay, I need to show my worth. I need to show the fans what they had been waiting for from me. So he's like in this emperor mode where he wants to show everyone that he has the power of his brand, of his work, of his image, of his talents. He wants to show everyone that he has the control over his life. There's something about I don't know if he got like bad feedback or something like that, but he wasn't comfortable with how his image was handled, or probably the promotions in the past. So now he's like, he wants to come back stronger. He wants to show like probably a much more like aggressive attitude, so, and he also wants to be more competitive, because this is the reality, guys. The industry is like full of new faces. Is like sometimes the other the first generation groups that still remain, they are also struggling with having some members in the military, and they have absences, and they have replacements, and they have to adapt to a lot of things. So him being on his own, he's like, okay, I have to run my own show the best way I can with my own abilities. So because it's up to me, it's something about him being like, okay, this show is about me, so I need to be ready, but I think that sometimes he just pressures himself a lot, and I think that this is when he starts to sabotage himself, because sometimes he needs other people's help. To be a soloist is not an easy task, because somehow I don't know why, but I think that sometimes the management, or there's something here, that he needs to surround himself with more trustworthy people, because like I mentioned before, there was someone that delayed all his promotions, or actually made him wait for a while. So he's very frustrated about this and doesn't want this to happen all over again. So he feels pressure to show himself, and then we have the King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Page of Pentacles. So yes, a lot of Pentacles at the end. I think that he wants to make more money. Honestly, he wants to build a much more stable image for himself. He wants to be more prosperous. He wants to see the money. There's something about finances here that are also very hidden, and he knows this because he has the High Priestess here. So definitely he's very intuitive. He is a Pisces after all. So he knows that there were people probably messing up with the resources, with the budget. So he is now wanting to start over with much more awareness about, costs, finances. This is why I think that this female is really important for him, because she will help him to get in contact with all the expenses and stuff, because he's an artist, he's not an accountant. So definitely, but there was something in his intuition that actually he's starting to listen to himself more. And he's very aware that he needs to save his energy. It's just that he was in this very passionate mode because he wanted to get things going. He wanted to get things happen. He wanted to get on action. He was on a pause. He had a lot of like obstacles, but probably he doesn't talk about it, but it seems like things weren't easy for him. And he feels really frustrated because he knows that he has supporters. He knows that he has fans. He knows that the fans worry about him. So he's like, okay, everyone is waiting for me, but I'm still here, like in this never-ending process of waiting for someone's confirmation. So he feels helpless sometimes. And I think that in the past he did feel helpless. So now he's on this very passionate mode because it's his way of being like, like, excuse me, I need to move, I need to get going. Like, I'm not waiting for anyone else. I need to do my thing. I need to show up. I need to be there for the fans. The fans need me. The fans worry about me, you know. So he's like this unstoppable force, but somehow he needs to regulate himself because he's so excited, or he's so like hyperactive, you know. He's like, his energy is like whoa, 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 like moving. He's so motivated, you know, that I think that he needs to calm down a bit. He needs to calm down. He's going to be okay. He's going to do very well, but he needs to, like, yes, get more advice about money, about how things work, because there were a lot of people like in the past that weren't very beneficial for him, that he is the artist, you know. And I think that maybe next year was going to teach him is to get more like study more or get more into finances, you know, like probably like having people around him that can guide him or can teach him how to, because he's a very intelligent person. He's very intelligent. He absorbs information really fast. It's just that he doesn't have time, guys, and this is the reality. He should have people that do this for him, because actually he's he needs to work on himself as an artist. You know, he cannot be doing math, you know, of backstage, you know, like doing calculations and stuff. You know, he is an artist. So, but I think that he will mature a lot when it comes to, you know, like I mentioned in the beginning, that actually trying to get a hold of his energy was really difficult for me. But I think that he will turn into this King of Pentacles that is about you owning your craft, you know, and you also owning your assets and your attributes, and being like, okay, let's do business. You know, him turning into a businessman. This is the reality. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that it made sense. So I would love to hear from you, because I do not know much about him. So I would love you to read your feedback about this. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.